It's time to do Saturday crossword on Valentine's Day of 2026, and I can see that there's going to be something going on, probably a Valentine's Day theme with this. This one is by David Karp, edited by Will Shorts. I'm excited to see how this goes. This is a very unique grid shape, and I'm always a fan of that. Yeah, it is a heart. It's very well made. Let's just take a. I don't know if there's going to be anything more than this heart shape in the themeless puzzle in this case, but we'll see what happens here. Um, it's made with two fingers. It should be like a, you have those little like heart signs, that like you have those K-pop idols doing or something, right? Um, so maybe it's something like that. I can take a look at what these are. They're often taken in December. Let's just put an S there, I think. One of a kind figures. One of a kind figures. I don't know. Features of many romantic dramas. So we do have some romantic themed things here. Might just be this one. Might be something else as well. Let's see what I know. So heart test. I forget if it's EEG, ECG, EKG, but it's one of those, I think. Um, let's see what this is. Screw or nail to a Brit. Um, I'm thinking this sounds like this might be some kind of an alcoholic drink, and this might be a marg, as in a margarita, perhaps. I know that they have different words for it. For instance, I know they call like cheese pizza a margarita, but it seems like it might be a more common thing, to be honest. I don't know. It's charged. Perhaps it's an ion, a charged particle. Um, Sia, perhaps Tetris Tata Sia. I'm not sure about this, to be honest. Um, but let's see what else I can just figure out. Oppenheimer director. Man, I don't know. Um, the name might be familiar if I can find it eventually. Um, let's see. Honorific meaning elder brother. Um, elder brother. What could that be? Lama? Dalai Lama? Frere? Like, is this like a religious thing? Tree of life in Norse mythology could be an elm. I'm just gonna go with that. A meadow is a lea. Okay, faculty. Um, faculty could be a sense. It could be a um, it'd be like a faculty member, professor. So what would be blank 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 LE in this case? Kind of car on a long distance train. Um, with an A as well. Sleeper car. What could this be? Maybe I don't. Maybe it's not elm. But it would be kind of tough. I'm just gonna go with it and see what it is later. That's clear now. Perhaps it's IC. Requirement of some dress codes. Bow ties, perhaps. What is this? Many a private investigator. Well, they're just sort of for hire with a W. There's someone that trails. Community spirit. Morale, right? Community spirit. That's not the right number of letters, morale. Gymnastics event. Okay, what do we have? We have floor. We have bars. Uh, we have pommel horse. I mean, I feel like at that case they would specify men's gymnastics or women's gymnastics, but I don't know. Government divisions, perhaps just departments like this, abbreviated, similar to government. Intimate footage is probably a sex tape. Okay, then let's say this is not bow ties because these combinations do not work. Many a private investigator might be ex FBI or something like that. Maybe it used to be FBI, but now they're doing private investigations. Unlikable sorts. Unlikable sorts. Perhaps it's ex CIA. Perhaps. BC winter hours. British Columbia. Uh, what is in that area? Is that British Columbia is in. Well, it's sort of in the east, like sort of relative to America, and I know it's Pacific, Mountain, Central, and Eastern. I don't know if there's anything if there's anything beyond that. Perhaps BC is this Alaskan, AST Alaskan, daylight time, um, not standard. I don't know. That's tough. That's tough. Losing team in the Miracle on Ice. is a USSR. That was one of those famous games, but I think it was between the US and USSR in the Olympics, Winter Olympics at some point. To fold. Or maybe it's just pleat like that. A requirement for some dress codes are sleeves. Sure, let's go with that. Gymnastics event is the vault. Okay, yes, that's right. In women's gymnastics. So community spirit is e ether perhaps? Unlikable sorts. Teals? Well, what is this? I don't. Oh, ethic perhaps. Um, communities. What's going on here? So arrive suddenly from a distance. I think this is parachute. Parachute in perhaps to arrive suddenly from a distance. So XCIA is probably right because the C is at least confirmed. And I'm pretty sure this is pleat as well. So what is this? Unlikable sorts are. Is this really just ether? Because, what is this word? Tills? Because I don't know why you would clue this as BC Winter Hours if the word is just art. And also, this word just doesn't look right. So I believe that I'm not getting this word right somehow. So it's T, like tills is the only word that can fit there. So I don't know. I don't know. Let's just look somewhere else. To go heavy at the buffet is to sort of pig out, is to eat up, fill up, perhaps, fill up, show appreciation in a way. Um, F in the second spot is kind of tough. I don't know if that's right. Um, I mean, I have the whole second bottom half for this to check out. So let me just take a look at these ones. Big drink, maybe a swig, perhaps. Show indecision is to waffle, is to um, ideate. No, stylish confidence. Don't know. Things peddled. You might peddle some wares. I think that's sort of the saying. Peddling wares. Stylish confidence is maybe swag. Let's go with that. Access as a profitable enterprise is to get in on, perhaps. You might get in on an enterprise. If that is where Excalibur was forged. Get in on, perhaps? Let's take a look at what this is. County next to Napa. Okay, so I know this because I'm from California. California knowledge. You have Sonoma County next to Napa, just somewhere in like central California. Violating the rules. Violating the rules. Well, this could be an adjective because it's probably not going to be ing at the end. So, illegal in some way. Don't know. Minor issues, an age limit, perhaps. Um, Something like that. Yeah, for minors. Always, when you see the word minor with a question mark, you always have to be thinking about minors as in children. That's just kind of one of those words. Where Excalibur was forged, I think it's Avalon. That sounds like one of the places. Avalon is like, it just sounds kind of mystical, and I don't really know exactly what it is, but there it is. To show indecision might be to waver. That's right. One's no longer in office. Removed, removable something? Removable something else. I don't know. But this looks right. And this was pirate something. So what is this? Antagonist and something's Captain Phillips. Well, something pirates. Captain Phillips. So something before pirates, which I don't know. The only kind of pirates I can think of are like Tripoli pirates or I think they're not the Cossacks. I know in like history there used to be like some region sort of under Europe where there's like pirates from, but I don't know. Goose named for its call. Maybe it's a Nene because this is it's a Hawaiian goose, and I think Nene does sound like a call, which is I'm gonna go with that. One of the Golden Girls is Simone Biles in the 2024 Summer Olympics. That's right. Violating the rules is Nova something. So I'm pretty sure get in on is correct then. Then it's just I don't know about this O, but what could like NOVO something be? Not okay. Not okay. Violating the rules is not okay. puts one's money on the line is takes a bet. Is that something people say? Put one's money on the line. I don't know. Governor Moore. This might be Les, because what other ES name is there? Buckwheat noodle could be soba. Potpourri bags. Don't know, but this IB looks interesting. Beer brand from Trinidad and Tobago. Um, I've heard of such names. Carib is a name for someone from sort of from that area, Trinidad and Tobago in the Caribbean. Um, I also know Namib. Namib could be a sort of also a word for some name of I think no someone from Namibia. Um, so that can't be right from the Namib Desert. That's what it is. So maybe Carib is correct. Um, what is this? One's no longer in office. Is remote workers. Remote workers. That's right. They're not in office anymore. They're not in the office. To take on or to take down is to tackle. You might take down someone by tackling them. I might take on a challenge by tackling it. Okay, potpourri bats are sachets. All right, I think that's right because probably some kind of tea, which I don't know. North African fortress. I've heard of Kasbah before, and this seems like one of those sort of structures in North Africa, sort of historically. Greenland expanse is an ice sheet. And what is this? Nervous last might be has? Like in Nepo Baby's life is Kush. I mean, I don't think I've seen Kush written like that before. Like usually just Cushy, but Kush I think is an acceptable sort of slangy way to say it. So some short rows are spats. So a row is just like a little argument. Maybe it's pronounced row. I actually don't know. Arizona State City is Tempe, Arizona. And what is this? One of a kind figures. Oh, serial numbers. Okay, well, this means that this is not elm. This might be ash. Because it is another kind of tree. And you always get those kind of problems when you have three-letter words for trees. You have oak, you have ash, you have elm, you have fir. You have a lot of three letters, actually. You have U as well. Things like that. It's quite tricky. Let's see. What is this? Kind of car on a long-distance train. I would have thought this was diesel. And if that's the case, I also don't know what this would be. So one of a kind figures, like serial number is truly like it does fit the clue. It is correct description of this. It does just make all these other crossings kind of tricky. Like I don't really know what's going on. A faculty could be okay. In this case, this actually could be sense. In a certain sense, like one of your senses, one of your faculties. I'm gonna go with that. A subject of study could be an area, I suppose. Then honorific meaning elder brother. Dining. Oh, right, aga. Yeah, that's sort of a Turkish title. And it could be spelled AGA. It could also be spelled AGHA. I remember there was this book I read in high school. It's called the Kite Runner. And it was sort of like a very well-off family and also a poor family. They had two sons. And then the poor son would always refer to the rich son as aga. I think it was because it was a servant. Yeah, and this is a dining. So this is a dining car on a long-distance train. I still don't know who this is, and it irritates me, but yeah, this should be right. Features of many romantic dramas. Okay, so some kind of romantic drama must just have some kind of trope that occurs a lot. You know, you have like the meet cutes, and meet cute shows up quite often in puzzles. Like it's just sort of like the first awkward meeting of the two main characters. Um, Something names? Features of many romantic dramas. Something names. Because actually, I wouldn't know what this is actually. I don't know. Tire measure. Okay, I think tire measure. We're talking about pressure, so I think it's probably PSI for pressure. Um, Antagonist and something. So this is probably some location they're from, like Tripoli. I would have thought would be a place for pirates as well, but I don't know. To show appreciation. I don't know. Follow me. Um, I something. Follow me is makes me think that the word I is in the clue in the answer. It might not be the case though. So I'm just gonna see what else there is. So okay, let's see. Suffix with bens is benzoate, benzite, probably with an te at the end. You know what? I'm not sure. It might mess me up later, so I'm not gonna go with that yet. A screw or a nail to a Brit. To screw or nail. I really think it could be Marg. Um, in that case, I don't know about if it's ion. It's charged, which really feels like it should be right, actually. This could be snog, which is like a makeout session. It's the only other kind of British slang that you would see in a puzzle from New York Times. So I don't know. I don't know. And let me just take a look at this one, because I know possible options for the last letter. This is an E. I don't no, sorry. An EEG is for the head. So it could be ECG or EKG. This could be sick, perhaps. And in this case, EKG could possibly work. Attention to detail. Attention to detail. Sort of, what kind of quality would that be? It's made with 2 fingers. What's made with 2 fingers? Is this a stick? Something, don't know. They're often taken in December. This one's tricky. And maybe ta-ta. Maybe this one's not C. Maybe this is BRB for be right back. If that's the case, then, well, what could this be still? I don't know. Or ta-ta could be got to go. I think this might be right. Let's see what this tells me then. Sorry, Christopher Nolan. I think that's the Oppenheimer director. That seems right. Then what is this? Features of many romantic dramas. Something singles or angles, some sort of close-up angles. Then this could be photos, I think. You have something photos, and what is this? Made with 2 fingers is something. Oh, to shag. Yeah, okay. I've heard, shag also works in like a shag carpet, but in this case, shag could also mean to have sex with. And it is a British thing because I have never heard of it before. Totally awesome. Oh, it could be epic. And that does ECG in that case. That does work. What is this? Made with 2 fingers. Sort of like the victory sign, but you could also do like the heart sign if you do it in that K-pop way. Love triangles. That's what this one. Romantic dramas are love triangles. Yeah, it's quite tricky those, and it is one of those tropes in romantic dramas. Attention to detail is ORAR? Care. It might be just care. Oh, peace sign. The peace sign is made with 2 fingers. And something, Santa photos. That's right. They're taken in December. Then what is this? Benzene. That could work. Benzene. And QB stat is attempts, which is ATT. All right, so I'm happy with that. Smoothed over in a way is paved. And antagonist. Oh, Somali pirates. That's right. Follow me. Come, perhaps. The word come. So in this case, it doesn't have the word I, which is, it's, I suppose it happens sometimes, like the me guessing that me and the clue is means I, and the answer is just sort of a heuristic to just kind of get to the answer. But in this case, it didn't help, but it's all right. To show appreciation could be to clap. To go heavy at the buffet is to load up your plate, perhaps. Takes badly. And the WNBA's dream. Oh, this could potentially be Atlanta, and then this is takes badly is loots, as in like steals or pillages, like that sort. Unlikable sort. So we're back to this, and I really think that this is all of these are correct because load up and pleat. So we have TI blank LS, and this is really strange also. Or Many a private investigator. It's not an ex-con. I don't think it's an ex-convict. If that is, then this would be tools. Oh, ex-cop. Maybe it's not ex-CIA. It's ex-cop. That could also work. An ex-cop might just become private. So an unlikable sort is a tool, and BC winter hours are Pacific Standard Time. So this is ethos. Okay, ethos. That's right. I have heard of that. Yeah, ethic and ethos are quite similar, and I should have thought about that when I got that. But yeah, um, that was a good one. That was a good one. I, in this case, I happen to know quite a few obscure words that just kind of worked out, like sort of this Carib and Casbah. Carib is kind of a nice one though, because like you get a beer brand from this area, and so if you didn't get this letter, supposing that you didn't know Casbah, you didn't know Carib, um, if everything else was correct, assuming everything else was correct, you could still somewhat infer this based on this being a Caribbean country, and so looking at Carib, um, it would look somewhat correct, and so you would go with that. So sometimes you don't have to be exactly like you don't have to exactly know the words, but you have to at least be able to like reasonably guess it. That's sort of the criterion for good fill, along with other things. But I think that's one of the big things. So the nice thing about this, like these are really long answers as well. Like I'm really impressed by these ones going across as well as these ones. Like having a triple stack on both sides is quite difficult, and on top of that, you have something connecting all of these together. So it's a very well connected grid. I just think it was very well put together on top of this restriction of having the heart sign in the middle. So really nice. And of course, we do have some sort of sort of related words to Valentine's Day. So that's nice. Let's see if there were perhaps any difficult clues that I could talk about. We have some for quite short words. For example, loots could be takes badly, and I can't recall if I've seen this before, but in any case, this is sort of it is a very elegant construction. We have takes badly, which is only really ever interpreted as in like gets offended, in that sense. Take it badly to get offended, and in this case, takes is just the word that is sort of reinterpreted, but also badly is like like you have to be a bit whimsical in the sense of like what does it mean to like take something badly, like to possess something badly, to own something. So to loot in that case would work. Steals would also work, but this works as well. So this one as well. Minor issue, age limit. I think there was for example, like some other thing you can have with it is quite a common thing. So next time, I'm sure this will come up. If you have a clue with minor and question mark, always just think about if it's minor to do with children. Um, Something that's like one playing a minor role in a movie, and the answer for that could be child actor or something like that. You have um, those don't come up too often, but when you do have one of those clues, or sorry, when you have one of those answers that deal with children, for instance, child actor, probably the easiest way that you could ever clue that is by um, having some misdirection with the word minor, and you always have to be looking out for that. It's just one of those patterns that shows up. But I'm sure at some point we will see it. I don't know. One's no longer in office. This one was a nice one because it's the longest one that has a question mark, which makes me, when you have things like that, it is usually one of the most unique words you can have. Sort of, and you've almost certainly not seen that question mark clue before. So this one's no longer in office, which is nice because I for one was actually sort of tricked by this. I thought that this one was removed or something, like perhaps like people removed from office, people that were voted out, impeached. So I put a V over here because I saw this REMO, and I thought that this was like removed. With this Nene as well, I thought this was like removed Pauls or something like that too, like removed politicians. But remote workers, that's what it was. And you know, I could have easily been stuck on here for like another minute or so, but luckily I got this. Violating the rules is not okay. It's interesting though. Sometimes you get the word okay spelled out. Sometimes it's abbreviated. Well, I suppose you could say it's not okay. It's not really an abbreviation for the word OKAY because okay is just a spelling out of this word itself. Okay. Well, I mean, it's not really that important. I suppose like when you get when you do puzzles, you get really like granular with the details. You get like you're always looking for the really small things. Like for instance, um, I feel like there's some exceptions to the sort of conventions in puzzles that you see. For instance, one of the conventions is if you have a abbreviation. If you have a word that's the abbreviation, you should most likely indicate that it is an abbreviation in the clue. For instance, over here you have government abbreviated, which parallels the department being abbreviated. But there are some words that don't need that. For instance, like FBI, you might be able to get away with not even having the word organization. Like you can probably not need to indicate that it's an abbreviation. Same thing with ATM. ATM, I see a lot of clues, for instance, something like green dispensers. And that's it. Like, there's no indication that it's a abbreviation, but ATM is just so commonly referred to as such that there's really no need to indicate anymore because no one's going to actually spell out ATM. You have certain instances in which the conventions of crosswords might be broken. Um, and I suppose one of them is like okay could be interpreted as a sort of a not true spelling out of the word okay. But I feel like with the word okay itself, like it's kind of a gray area whether or not the word okay is like the correct spelling out of the word okay. I mean, I don't feel like I knew this is actually making sense. It's sort of just like the things I think about when like doing puzzles, and it doesn't actually mean anything else. So it was a good puzzle. I thought it was very smooth solve. Um, really liked some of these actually. One of a kind figures I think was one of those good, just clean clues. Not even any need for a question mark, but it just does the job on its own. It gets you thinking a lot. But yeah, that's for today. Hope you guys enjoyed, I suppose.